Hey, what's up, coin lovers? Imagine this: you're digging through your couch cushions, maybe checking out some spare change at the gas station, and bam, you find a penny. Just a regular, everyday penny, right? But hold up, what if I told you that tiny piece of copper could be worth over $1 million? Yeah, you heard that right. Today, we're talking about the 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny that sold for an unbelievable $1.1 million. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in your house, let's break this down. Why is this particular penny so valuable? What makes it special? And most importantly, could you be holding one right now? Let's dive in. Alright, so first things first, what's up with this 1978 penny? Well, most pennies from that year were minted in Philadelphia, which didn't use a mint mark, Denver, with a D mint mark, and San Francisco, with an S mint mark. But the real treasure here is the 1978 Philadelphia penny with a rare rarest. The thing about coin collecting is that mistakes are sometimes worth way more than perfection. It's like in school, mess up on a test, and it's bad news. But mess up on a coin? Jackpot. So, what makes this 1978 penny worth more than a brand new Lamborghini? Two words: error coin. This specific penny has a double die obverse, meaning the design was struck twice, slightly misaligned, giving Lincoln a kind of shadowy twin. Talk about presidential deja vu. On top of that, some of these rare 1978 pennies were struck on a planchet meant for a dime, making them much lighter and thinner than a normal penny. If you've got one of those in your collection, congratulations, you might be sitting on a small fortune, and let's not forget condition. The $1 million penny wasn't just rare, it was also in mint condition, graded MS67. That's like keeping a white t-shirt spotless for 46 years, basically a miracle. Okay, now for the fun part: how do you know if you've got one of these rare 1978 pennies? Here's a quick checklist. Look for doubling on Lincoln's face or the lettering, especially Liberty and In God We Trust. A regular penny should be 3.11 grams, but the rare ones struck on a dime planchet are much lighter if it's super shiny with no scratches. You're in business. Best way to check? Get yourself a magnifying, trust me, it's worth it. You wouldn't want to spend $1 million coin on a vending machine Snickers, right? Now, let me tell you about the time I thought I found $1 million penny. Picture this: I'm at a flea market, digging through this old coin bin, and I spot a 1978 no mint mark penny. My heart's racing. I'm already planning my dream vacation. I rush home, grab my magnifying glass, and nothing. No doubling. No weight difference. Just a regular OL penny. Moral of the story? Do your research. But hey, at least I got a good story and a 1-cent lesson in patience.so. What's the takeaway? Start checking your pennies. The 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny could be worth a fortune, and you'll never know unless you look. Whether you're a casual collector or a serious coin hunter, there's always a chance of striking gold, or in this case, copper. And hey, if you love learning about coins that could make you rich, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I've got tons more videos coming on rare coins, valuable errors, and smart collecting tips. Hit that like button, share this with a friend who needs to check their spare change, and drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Have you ever gone through your pocket change and thought, what if one of these pennies is actually worth a fortune? Well, buckle up, because today we're talking about the 1993 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Yes, a humble little penny that could be worth a whopping $1.20 million. I know what you're thinking: how can a penny, something most of us don't even bother picking up off the sidewalk, be worth that much? Trust me, I was just as skeptical when I first heard about it. But after diving into the world of rare coins, I realized that some of these little copper beauties are hiding in plain sight, just waiting to be discovered. So, grab your change jar, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why this particular penny is so valuable, and how you can cash in if you find one. Plus, I'll share a funny story about the time I almost spent a valuable coin at a vending machine. Yeah, that was a close call. What exactly is a no-mint mark penny? Well, most pennies have a little letter under the date that tells you where they were made. If you see a D, that means Denver. An S means San Francisco. But if there's no letter at all? That means it was minted in Philadelphia. Normally, that wouldn't be a big deal, but here's where things get interesting. In 1993, a small batch of pennies was struck with a rare error, making them extremely valuable. Some of these coins were misprinted, double die errors, or even struck on the wrong planchet, which is just a fancy way of saying the wrong type of metal, and collectors love these mistakes. The more unusual the error, the more valuable the coin. And in the case of the 1993 no mint mark penny, some of these rare errors have turned a 1-cent coin into $1 million jackpot. Alright, so now you're probably itching to go through your couch cushions. But before you do, let's talk about what you should be looking for. This is key. If there's a letter under the date, it's not the one we're looking for. Some of these rare 1993 pennies were struck with a double die, meaning the details on Lincoln's face or the lettering may look a little blurry or double dot off center strike. If the design looks slightly shifted or cut off, that's a sign of a valuable minting error. Some pennies were accidentally struck on nickel or dime blanks, which makes them much rarer. If you find a 1993 penny that matches any of these descriptions, you might just be sitting on a gold mine, well, a copper mine, technically, but you get the point. Now, let's get to the part everyone wants to know: how much is this thing actually worth? The highest recorded sale of a 1993 no mint mark penny with the right error went for an eye-watering $1.2 million at auction. But even if you don't have a perfect specimen, some of these pennies have still sold for tens of thousands of dollars. If your penny is in pristine, uncirculated condition, meaning it looks like it just came out of the factory, you've got a much better shot at getting top dollar. But even a worn version with the right error can still be worth serious money. If you think you've got a valuable coin, don't clean it. I repeat, do not try to polish it, wash it, or rub it with anything. Cleaning a rare coin can actually lower its value. Just put it in a protective case and get it checked out by a professional coin grading service. Okay, so here's where I embarrass myself a little. A few years ago, I was at a gas station, and I needed exact change for a soda. I grabbed a handful of pennies from my car's cup holder and was about to drop them into the machine when something made me pause. One of the pennies looked different. I don't know what it was, maybe the color, maybe the way the light hit it, but something told me to take a closer look. Turns out, it was an old wheat penny from the 1940s, nothing crazy, but still worth about $10. That was the moment I realized that valuable coins are out there, mixed in with everyday change, just waiting for someone to notice them. And if I had almost spent a $10 coin on a soda, imagine how many people have unknowingly spent a rare $1.2 million penny. So, what's the takeaway here? Check your change. That little jar of pennies you've been ignoring? It could be holding a hidden fortune, and if you do find something interesting, take your time. Research it. Get it appraised. Because you never know when you might be holding a coin that could change your life. Now, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins that could be worth a fortune, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be bringing you more tips, tricks, and stories about hidden treasures in your everyday pocket change. And hey, if you ever do find a rare coin, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we talk about coins that could change your life, literally. Imagine this: you're digging through your old coin jar, maybe looking for some laundry money, and boom, you find a penny that could be worth over $1 million. Sounds crazy, right? But it's absolutely possible today. We're talking about the 1977 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a regular looking coin that's anything but ordinary. This little copper beauty has been found in circulation, hiding in pocket change, and one of them recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.30 million. Before you start flipping over every penny in your house, stick with me because I'm going to break down exactly why this coin is so valuable, what makes it special, and how you can spot one. Oh, and I'll even share a funny story about the time I almost threw away a valuable coin without realizing it. Alright, first things first, what's so special about the 1977 no mint mark penny? Most pennies from 1977 were made at 3 different US mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The ones from Denver and San Francisco have a little D or S under the date. But the ones made in Philadelphia? No mint mark at all. And now, normally, that wouldn't be a big deal. Philadelphia didn't start consistently adding mint marks to pennies until 1980. But here's the twist: some 1977 pennies were struck with rare errors or unusual characteristics that make them worth serious money. So, how does a penny go from being worth 1 cent to over $1 million? It's all about errors, rarity, and condition. This is when the design on the front of the penny, including Lincoln's face or the date, is slightly doubled. These errors happen when the coin press malfunctions, and collectors go crazy for them. If the coin was struck incorrectly, it could have a weird, misaligned look. The more dramatic the error, the more valuable it is. Every now and then, a penny gets made with the wrong metal. If you find a 1977 penny that looks unusually shiny or silvery, it might be a major error worth thousands. High-grade condition, MS67 plus or better. Even a normal 1977 penny can be worth thousands if it's in pristine condition. The fewer scratches and the sharper the details, the more valuable it becomes. Alright, so now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have the golden ticket of pennies? Here's what you do: grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom feature, look at the date and Lincoln's portrait. Any weird doubling? That's a good sign. Check for any misaligned designs, cracks, or odd coloring. Weigh it. A regular 1977 penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If yours weighs more or less, you might have a rare variety. If you think you found a winner, get it professionally graded. Companies like PCGS or NGC can authenticate your coin and tell you if you're holding a small fortune. Now, let me tell you about the time I almost tossed away a valuable coin. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car and found an old, beat-up penny stuck between the seats. I was about to flick it into the trash, but something made me take a second look. It had a weird shine to it. So, just for fun, I waited, and guess what? It turned out to be a silver planchet error. I got it appraised, and while it wasn't $1 million coin, it was worth $2,500. Not bad for a penny I almost threw away with a handful of fast food napkins. Lesson learned: always check your coins. Alright, folks, that's the scoop on the 1977 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Who knew a tiny copper coin could be worth $1.3 million? Now it's your turn. Go check your coin jars, your couch cushions, even that random pile of pennies sitting in your car's cup holder. You never know, you might be holding onto a fortune without realizing it. And hey, if you love learning about valuable coins, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm always bringing you the latest coin collecting tips, rare finds, and strategies to turn pocket change into big money. Hit that like button, drop a comment if you've ever found a cool coin, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, folks, have you ever had a penny in your pocket that you almost tossed in a tip jar or dropped between the couch cushions? What if I told you that little coin could be worth $1.4 million? Yep, you heard me right, $1.4 million for a 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Before you run to your coin jar, stick with me because we're diving deep into why this little copper beauty is making collectors go crazy. I'll tell you what makes it valuable, how to spot one, and the best ways to sell it if you're lucky enough to find one. Plus, I'll share a personal story about almost spending a valuable coin myself. Spoiler alert, it still haunts me. So, why is this penny so special? Well, most pennies from 1981 were made in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. The ones from Denver, D, and San Francisco, S, have mint marks. But the Philadelphia ones? They're usually blank, no little letter under the date. Now, here's where things get crazy. While most 1981 pennies without a mint mark are common, a rare few were struck with a unique minting error, making them ridiculously valuable. These aren't just any old pennies. They have certain key characteristics that make collectors willing to pay big bucks. Now, before you start checking every penny you find, let's talk about what makes this specific one worth more than a luxury sports car, coins with scratches, dirt, or where won't fetch nearly as much. The $1 million ones are usually graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services. 1981 was one of the last year's pennies were made mostly of copper before the switch to zinc in 1982. Some 1981 no mint mark pennies were struck with double die errors, meaning the design appears slightly doubled. Others have off-center strikes or misaligned dies, making them even rarer. The valuable ones have an ultra-sharp, flawless design. If Lincoln's face is crisp, his beard hairs are well-defined, and you might have a winner. The story of how I almost spent a rare penny. Okay, so let me tell you about the time I almost lost out on a small fortune. I was at a gas station, paying for a snack, and I had a handful of change. I saw this really shiny penny and almost didn't think twice about it. But something about it just looked different. Luckily, I hesitated, took a closer look, and did some quick research. It turned out to be a rare off-center strike penny from another year, and while it wasn't worth millions, it still fetched a nice couple of $100 when I sold it. Change. That quick second of curiosity saved me from spending a valuable coin on a bag of chips. Imagine if that had been a $1.4 million penny? I'd probably still be crying. How to sell your 1981 no mint mark penny now. Let's say you find one. What's next? whatever you do, do not clean the coin. Cleaning actually lowers its value. Send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC to authenticate and give it a grade. If your coin is the real deal, auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers might help you get the best price. Some sellers have luck on eBay, but you have to be careful of scammers. Always verify buyers. Attend a coin show or contact a reputable dealer to get appraisals. If your coin checks all the boxes, congratulations, you could be sitting on a life-changing payday. So, next time you get a penny in your change, don't just toss it in the jar or let it roll under the car seat. Take a second to look at it. You never know when you might be holding a $1.4 million jackpot in your hands. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found or almost spent a valuable coin. I'd love to hear your stories. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we talk about coins that could change your life, literally. Today, I've got a wild one for you. Imagine you're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change, and bam! You find a 1970 Lincoln penny. You're about to toss it into your coin jar, but wait, what if I told you that little copper coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million? Yeah, you heard that right. Before you go frantically searching through your penny stash, stick around because I'm about to break down everything you need to know about this rare coin. We'll talk about what makes it so valuable, how to spot one, and why the 1970 penny is the hidden gem of the coin collecting world. And trust me, you won't want to miss the crazy story I have about almost throwing away a valuable penny myself of the 1970 penny. Why is it worth so much? So, what's the big deal with the 1970 Lincoln penny? I mean, it's just a penny, right? Wrong. This little copper wonder has a rare error that makes it one of the most sought-after coins in U.S. history. The 1970 penny was minted in Denver, which is what the D stands for. Normally, that wouldn't make it special, but here's the kicker: there was a major doubling error on some of these pennies, known as a double die obverse. That means certain features on Lincoln's face and the lettering look like they were stamped twice, creating a slight blur or doubling effect. And that little mistake makes this penny worth a fortune. Now, before you start breaking open every roll of pennies at your local bank, here's what you need to look for. The most valuable 1970 pennies have a clear doubling on the numbers and the date, especially the 7 and 0. If they look a little funky, you might have hit the jackpot. The word Liberty on the left side of the coin sometimes shows the doubling effect as well. If the letters look slightly shifted or doubled, you could be holding onto a fortune. If your penny looks like it just rolled out of the mint yesterday, it's worth even more. High-grade versions of this coin have sold for over $1 million. The story of how I almost tossed a valuable penny. Alright, let me tell you about the time I almost made the biggest mistake of my life. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car and found an old penny stuck between the seats. It looked pretty normal, but for some reason, I hesitated before tossing it into my cup holder. I decided to check it under better lighting, and guess what? It had doubling on the date. It wasn't the legendary 1970 penny worth $1.5 million. But it was a rare variety that ended up selling for a few $100. That moment taught me a valuable lesson: never underestimate a penny. I can't even imagine if I had casually tossed a six-figure penny without knowing it. And that's why I always tell people, check your change, the current market value of the 1970 penny. So, how much is this coin actually worth? Well, hold on to your hats because the highest recorded sale of a 1970 double die obverse penny was a mind-blowing $1.50 million. Even if yours isn't in mint condition, lower grade versions of this era penny can still go for thousands of dollars. So, if you find one, don't go spending it on a candy bar just yet. Alright, folks, that's the story of the 1970 Lincoln penny, one of the most valuable modern pennies out there. Hopefully, you've learned a thing or two. And maybe this video has inspired you to go check that jar of loose change sitting on your dresser. Who knows? You could be sitting on a small fortune and not even realize it. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, or if you just love the idea of turning pennies into serious cash, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll be bringing you more tips, tricks, and stories about valuable coins that could make you rich. And hey, if you do find a 1970 penny worth big bucks, drop a comment below and let us know. I'd love to hear your story. Hey there, coin lovers. Have you ever picked up a penny, looked at it, and thought, just another 1-cent piece? Well, today, I'm about to change the way you see pennies forever. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for loose change to buy a soda, and you stumble upon a 1995 no mint mark Lincoln penny. No big deal, right? But what if I told you that this tiny copper coin could be worth a life-changing $1.6 million? Yep, you heard that right. One single penny worth more than a mansion, a fleet of luxury cars, or enough snacks to last a lifetime. So, grab your coin jar, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot this rare penny, what makes it so valuable, and how you can cash in on the big bucks. Let's get started. Alright, let's break it down. The 1995 Lincoln penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which, at the time, didn't include a mint mark on pennies. That part's normal. But what makes this particular penny stand out is a rare and valuable double die error. And now, if you're new to coin collecting, a double die error happens when the coin is struck incorrectly, creating a slight double image on certain parts of the design. In the case of the 1995 penny, the error is most noticeable on the word liberty in the phrase "In God We Trust." If those letters look a little fuzzy or doubled, congrats, my friend, you might just be holding a jackpot in your hands. Let me tell you a quick story. A while back, I was helping my grandma roll up some loose change, because, she still pays for things like it's 1975. Anyway, I was casually checking the pennies, when I spotted one that looked off. At first, I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me, but after a closer look, I realized it had that doubled lettering. Now, I got all excited, thinking I had just hit the coin jackpot. I rushed to check its value, dreaming about what I'd buy with my millions. Spoiler alert, it was mostly pizza and a trip to Hawaii. Turns out, my penny wasn't the $1 million version, but I did sell it for a nice chunk of change. Moral of the story? Always check your pennies. Because you never know when you'll find a small fortune hiding in plain sight. So, let's talk numbers. The regular 1995 no mint mark penny, the ones without the double die error, are worth just face value. But if you find one with that doubling effect, you're in business. In circulated condition, it could be worth $20 to $50. Now we're talking $1,000 to $5,000. Graded at MS68 or higher, have sold at auction for a whopping $1.60 million. That's right, a single 1-cent coin turns someone into a millionaire. So if you've got a 1995 penny lying around, it's time to break out the magnifying glass and take a closer look. Alright, so now you're wondering, how do I know if I've got a winner? Here's what you need to do. Look for the double die effect on Liberty and "In God We Trust." Use a magnifying glass. Some errors are subtle, so don't rely on your naked eye. Get it graded. If you think you've struck gold, send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC for verification. Sell smart. If you've got a high-grade coin, auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Great Collections could get you top dollar. And remember, if someone offers you $50 for your penny without grading it first, run. You don't want to sell a potential fortune for lunch money. So, there you have it, the story of how a tiny, everyday penny could change your life forever. Who knew that something so small could be worth more than a Lamborghini? Now, here's what I want you to do. Go check your piggy bank, your car's cup holder, that random jar of change in your kitchen, heck, even your pockets right now. You never know where a 1995 no mint mark double die penny might be hiding, and if you love learning about valuable coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons more hidden treasure tips coming your way, so you won't want to miss out. Hey there, coin hunters. Have you ever emptied your pockets, glanced at a penny, and thought, this thing is barely worth picking up? Well, what if I told you that one little Lincoln cent from 1967, yes, the one without a mint mark, could be worth a staggering $1.7 million? That's right, one lucky penny could change your life. Now. Before you start shaking your couch cushions or raiding your old piggy bank, let me tell you everything you need to know about why this 1967 penny is so valuable, how to spot one, and how to make sure you're not tossing away a small fortune. Stick with me, and by the end of this video, you'll be checking every penny you come across. Oh, and by the way, if you enjoy videos about rare coins, valuable finds, and making money from pocket change, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, your future millionaire self will thank you. Back in 1967, the US Mint was doing something a little different. They temporarily removed mint marks from all coins to discourage coin hoarding. So, whether your 1967 penny was struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, it won't have a mint mark. That means every single 1967 Lincoln penny looks the same, but not everyone is worth a fortune. So, what makes some of these pennies worth just 1 cent while others are worth $1.7 million? It all comes down to rare errors and high quality conditions, and now, this is where things get exciting. Some 1967 pennies have insane minting errors that make collectors drool. Imagine finding a penny that's missing part of its design, struck off-center, or even double printed. These errors can shoot the value into the thousands. But the real jackpot is the double die obverse (DDO) variety. A double die error happens when the coin's design gets stamped twice, slightly misaligned. This means Lincoln's face, the lettering, or even the date could look blurry or doubled. A strong double die error on a 1967 penny has sold for over six figures. The $1.7 million penny. This wasn't just any penny. It was what collectors call MS68RD, Mint State 68 Red. Well, when pennies are brand new, they have a shiny, reddish copper luster. Over time, most turn brown due to oxidation. But if a 1967 penny stayed in pristine, untouched condition with that original red shine, it could be worth a fortune. Out of the millions of 1967 pennies, only a few survived in perfect condition. And when one of them showed up at an auction, collectors went crazy, pushing its price up to $1.70 million. Where can I get my hands on one of these? Well, first things first, start checking your change. People unknowingly spend valuable coins all the time. You could literally find one at a gas station, in your grandpa's old coin jar, or tucked inside an old drawer. I actually have a funny story about this. A few years ago, my friend and I were at a garage sale, digging through a box of old junk. I picked up an old piggy bank, and the guy selling it was like, "Oh, that's just full of pennies, I'll throw it in for free." I took it home, dumped it out, and bam, a 1967 penny in nearly perfect condition. Now, it wasn't the $1 million one, but it did sell for over $100. Not bad for a freebie. So, if you ever come across a shiny red 1967 penny, grab a magnifying glass and check it closely. Look for errors, doubling, and strong details on Lincoln's face. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, now you know why the 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny is worth serious cash. From rare errors to perfect red condition, these little coins could turn spare change into life-changing money. Search through old piggy banks, and don't overlook those pennies. And if you find one, get it graded. You might be sitting on a jackpot. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins worth big bucks, don't forget to subscribe. I drop new videos on valuable coins, tips on spotting rare finds, and strategies to make money from collecting. Hit that like button, and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare penny. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Imagine checking your pocket change, thinking it's just another regular penny, and bam, you realize it's worth $1.8 million. Crazy, right? Well, that's exactly what happened to one lucky collector, and today, we're talking about the 2008 no mint mark Lincoln penny that could make you a millionaire. Before you go dumping out your piggy bank, let's break down why this coin is so valuable, how you can spot one, and what makes it so special. Stick around because you might just have a fortune hiding in your couch cushions. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a gas station, and I got some change back. I glanced at a penny, saw something weird, and thought, it's probably nothing. Tossed it in my car cup holder and forgot about it. Fast forward a year, I started getting into coin collecting and learned that rare pennies can be worth a fortune. That's when I remembered that odd-looking penny. I scrambled to find it. Checked under the seats, went through my glove box, even checked the floor mats. Finally, I found it, stuck to an old piece of gum. Gross? Yes. Worth millions? Sadly, no. But it taught me a valuable lesson. Always check your pennies. At first glance, this penny looks just like any other. It's got Abraham Lincoln shilling on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back, and it's the same copper-plated zinc material we've had since 1982. But here's where things get interesting. Some 2008 pennies were struck without a mint mark, and under the right conditions, they are worth a life-changing amount of money. This isn't just some old penny, this is a collector's dream. The biggest reason for its insane value is a rare minting error. Some of these coins were struck with a missing mint mark when they were supposed to have one. This kind of mistake doesn't happen often, making them extremely rare. If you've got one in, meaning no scratches, no fingerprints, and know it could be worth a small fortune. Grading services like PCGS or NGC look for coins in MS68 or higher, and those are the ones that bring in big money. Coin collectors love a good rarity, and when demand is high, prices skyrocket. The fewer that exist, the higher the value. How to spot a rare 2008 no mint mark penny? Okay, so now you're probably eyeing that penny jar on your kitchen counter, wondering if you've got one. Here's how to check. Look under the date. If it doesn't have a little D, Denver, or P, Philadelphia, you might be in luck. Sharp details. The sharper the details on Lincoln's face and the memorial, the better. Wear and tear will lower the value. Bright, lustrous surface, a high quality, well-preserved penny is worth way more than one that's been rattling around in a pocket for years. So, let's say you're going through your change, and boom, you find a 2008 no mint mark penny. What now? Don't just toss it around. Use gloves or hold it by the edges to avoid fingerprints. Send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate it and tell you its official grade. If it's truly rare and in top condition, auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers can help you sell it for top dollar. Imagine selling a single penny for over $1 million. That's a serious upgrade from the take a penny, leave a penny jar. So, the next time you get change back at the store, don't just shove it in your pocket and forget about it. You could be sitting on a $1.8 million fortune without even knowing it. And hey, if you love learning about coins worth serious cash, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more hidden gem coins to talk about, and you don't want to miss out on your next big payday.